What is going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be building battle rafts to take on Captain May. That's right, the big pirate ship from the Roll Parade. Roll Parade? The role play episode in the Nerd Parade video just a few days ago. I put one foundation on this one already just to stand on. But we are going to be attacking them tonight on the Nerd Parade test server. That's right, not the regular server, because we want them to hit us come Tuesday when the big finale happens, so we want to leave them available. We also want to hit them before the season's over. So we're going to be doing it on the test server, so they'll still have their base afterwards, and we get to have a fun, friendly raid with our allies, and it should be a blast. But we're going to be building lots of C4 rafts, 2-man C4 rafts, solo-man C4 rafts, and probably some battering rams to take out turret towers with, where you put the C4 inside the turret tower, and boom it to try to blow up the turret tower. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the builds. Alright guys, first up we're going to be building the 2-man C4 raft. Now obviously there's going to be a place for the driver. It's going to be closed off so nobody can hit it. But up here there's going to be a door and then like an empty box that's ceilings, walls, and ceilings again because we can't put foundations to create a cavity that's open. And there'll be a door on the inside of that. So there'll be a blank cavity of one space with an open. So you can pull up to a wall. You have that one cavity. You open the door, load up a C4, close the door, back away, boom, C4, blow hole in base. So we're going to show you guys how to build that right now and hopefully successfully use it tonight during the raid. The only thing that counters this is currently rockets because on our servers, on the Nerd Parade servers, we're running AA, and the AA wireless generator is the only generator enabled on the server. And unfortunately, it does not work with stuff that's built on rafts. But not to worry, guys. I will be fixing that very soon. I'm working on a generator overhaul for AA to make them a little less overpowered in PvP and give it a completely different style of how it works. And it will work on rafts, so it'll be much better and fixed here soon. But for today, for tonight, that's going to be our biggest issue. Will be rockets shooting our boats. So I think strength in numbers is going to be a big thing, and that's why I farmed all morning to make so many of these motorboats. Motorboats are quite a bit more expensive than rafts, but the reason regular rafts are disabled on the Nerd Parade server is to keep people from spamming them in the water for XP, because we have accelerated XP. You don't got to do that. But the main point to keep them from spamming is to create less lag for the server, less boats to render in. So that's why we went with the motorboats, and it has worked successfully. We've been doing it for several seasons since the motorboats came out. So without further ado, guys, let's actually get into some building here. So let's before we started, I went ahead and I mind wiped for weight so I could actually put all this stuff in my inventory and on my hotbar. So first, let's get our driver hatch a little bit better secured. All right, there they are. Looking for my ceilings here. So let's go ahead and secure our driver in here a little better, because right now he's just completely open to the elements. So we're gonna do that just with a very basic driver's seat here. If it'll place, there it goes. So a very basic driver seat here, just a 1x. And then we're going to work on our, like I said, the empty cavity here. This is what I'm building right now. It's just going to basically be, I think I'm going to go too high, just to be safe and make sure they don't accidentally clip through the ceiling or something silly like that. So this is our empty space to kind of show you what I mean. Oops. Ye old building hopper. To kind of show you what I mean by empty space. Let's get it completely filled out here. That OCD won't let me do that. Alright guys, so we have our little cubby hole, if you will, here. It's just a 3x1 cavity. You'll drive this side of the boat up against the ship or base wall if you're not doing this against a ship. Any base that's near the water, you'll just drive this up against it, flush, maybe a little clipped in, and put the C4 down on the wall. Whoever is on C4 duty, there'll be a door here that's open, then you back up, you close the door, you back the boat just far enough away so the boat doesn't get blown up or any of the structures on the boat, and you detonate the C4 and you move on to the next hole. Alright, so the rest of the ship is pretty basic. We're just going to fortify it the best we can with our remaining structure limit. We may make this front cubby a little wider if we have the space. I'm not sure if we will, or not the space, the structure limit. So all we really need here is a 1x tunnel with a door on it somewhere. This is the hardest part about building on a boat, is that, because it drives my OCD nuts. I should have not picked that one up. Alright, so we're just going to build a 1x tunnel for now. Let's put our doors on. Boop. And boop. We have 100 fortitude, and we're still, like, sweating to death. Alright, so we got our doors on here. We got our basic surround here. You can plop up here, place your C4, then you close back up, and voila. Now this, like I said, we're extremely weak to rockets because all I had to do is shoot one rocket at the back. the back breaks it. But if you're building this on a normal server with normal generators or normal rafts you make this a big box. You put a generator right in the middle, and you surround it on turrets so rockets are shot down. And then you have a super C4 placing raft. And this is probably my favorite raft build. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to reinforce this now, especially the driver's hatch. All right, so I think our weakest part is back here. This is where the driver sits. So I'm putting these extra ceilings here. I'm going to go down and under and up and over because I think this is our weakest spot because one rocket could take out right now. Just hit that, take out the driver's compartment, and then you can snap the driver out. So we're going to try to reinforce this a little bit, or as best as we can anyway. So we're going to do this by just simply putting another box around the driver's compartment. That's all we really can do with what we have on the server right now. Okay, so I've decided I'm also going to put two walls inside of this as well, just for the extra. If they blow that side one, they're still not going to be able to hit the main compartment. And then if we have the room, I want to go up and over this middle thing as well. We're going to try to get this thing to be as reinforced as we possibly can. And then down here, we're also going to, as you can see, they can still just pop, shoot that one wall, hit the driver. So we're also going to do the same thing down here in the water. Pro tip, if you're building in the water, put some turrets on wild only around you. I keep having these piranha try to come up and get me, but our turrets keep dropping them, and it's so nice to have that. So we're going to put one more wall down. Ceiling, pick up the wall, and voila. All right, so our driver box is at least protected by a 1x1 box all the way around it, except for above right now. I'm trying to decide if we have the structure limit, I might come back and put another one by here and here, but it's not as big of a deal because they still won't get the driver's box, but they can hit that foundation and blow that wall. So as you see, I'm trying to think of all the instances where they could possibly blow into the driver's box. Alright guys, to kind of circumvent if you blow this one that the driver's exposed, I've put one here. So you have to blow this foundation in order to blow this wall. So the driver is completely surrounded by an entire layer all the way around of extra walls. So at the absolute minimum, if the rocket launcher shooter has a perfect shot, it'll take 2 shots to get to the driver exposed, and then you have to kill the driver. I also put this 1x box on top to prevent top-down rockets. So I think we still have a open wall over there. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around and put ramps down on all these, because that's going to be the most efficient way to get an extra wall in between there without adding too much to the structure limit. Oh, come on, place for me. Place for me. There we go. Without adding too much to the structure limit. Now, the guy in the tunnel is going to be a little exposed as well. If I have enough structure limit left, I'd really like to put another door here and give that guy a 1x1 box as well to stand in case this gets blown. Just as much protection as possible. We're building this boat as we go. This is not a pre-planned boat. Just I've seen someone use the battering ram style like this before, and I'm trying to build my own blitz version of it, as I like to do. I don't like to copy other people's builds. I don't like to watch YouTube videos of people's builds and say, hey, I'm going to copy that for my video. I like to build my own custom, unique builds, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's get the driver a little more protected here with some ramps, maybe. All right, guys, we're back. We've got the boat ramped off to the best of our ability. We didn't. It's not super secure, but as you can see, I put a lower layer. There you go, a lower layer of ramps underneath that top layer of ramps, and that's more or less to just, if they try to shoot the bottom, it's going to take 2 rockets to break the ramps instead of just hitting the bottom row of ramps or hitting the boxes. So it's a sacrificial boat. These boats are suicidal bombers, basically, to get C4 on the structures. You get as many as you can until the raft is gone. So it's not all about like super defended and hey, that boat has a giant weakness. It's more or less, it's going to be during the heat of the battle raid. They're going to be scrambling while we're shooting at them to take this out. So this is a kind of an ugly duckling. Just needs to survive as many hits as it can until it's blown up, so the person in the front can get the C4 on the wall. So doing everything we can with minimal structure limit to just make it take as many hits as possible, and we're protecting the driver right now. And I think I've got the driver as protected as I can get it with this build. And as I said, we're using ramps for the minimalist approach. We want to keep our structure limit as low as possible because we also want to defend the placement structure up here. So what we're doing is, you remember there was a door on this side. I closed it off. I placed it with a wall and put a ramp there. I was like, I need a way to get out of the boat. But then I remembered there's a door up there. That's our way to get out of the boat if we need to. So we close that off. That'll save us a structure, because I was going to build, or save a several structure because I was going to build another door and a 1x1 out to give it that extra layer of protection. which would have cost us, I think, another 5 structures. So instead, we removed the door frame, replaced it with the wall. That saved a structure, and then put the ramp down. So it's the same amount of structures right now, but I don't have to add the 4 structures to extra reinforce, or 5 structures to extra reinforce it. So now let's get started trying to reinforce this, which we're going to do similar to this. I'm probably going to use ramps down the side. I might make the inside only 1 high by putting a layer of ceilings. That gives us a 2-layer buffer on top, and then put some ramps down this way. And that should give us a decent amount of protection. If I have enough left, I want to put an extra door frame in the airlock channel, and then I would like to reinforce the top of this somehow as well, because as you can see, it's completely open. I would like to just do another layer of ceilings across the top of this, or another ceilings walls across the top of this, and make this a 2 high as well with some ramps. But I'm not sure how close we're getting to structure. We have to be getting close. This is a lot of structures. I actually might do. Yeah, let's do this before we do that, because that up there is more or less the last thing that needs to be protected, because you're only up in there for a few seconds. And if we have to, we can go straight up to the door, so we can just open the door, lay the wall, and we can get rid of that. That is just a convenience thing. It's much easier when you don't have to worry about that. When you don't have to worry about getting the door perfectly with the wall, that gives you some wiggle room when the boat has to like slowly stop. It gives you a one foundation thick wiggle room before you have to worry about so you don't have to worry about being perfectly aligned. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. It must match. Match, dang it. Oh, god dang it. Alright, we're going to get this fixed. We'll be alright. Alright, guys, we are back. We put an extra layer of walls up there. We put an extra layer of ramps down, so there's 2 layers of protection above the person in the tunnel now, and now we're going to reinforce this. I put a extra layer of walls in the middle. I had it 2 high on the inside just for convenience, but we don't really need the 2 high, so we put the extra layer there in case they decide to shoot rockets down on us from their boat or a top of jar or something. And if we're actually up against their boat and they shoot rockets down at the top layer, it's going to be preferable. Sure, they'll break top layer, but they'll also damage their boat, so that's good. But we still have our weakness of 1 wall there on that side and 1 wall there on that side. So we're probably going to put some ramps down, and when we're coming up to the boat, we have the weakness of the 1 door. So we're going to put another checkpoint of door in there if we have the structure limit. But first, let's get these ramps put down, assuming they'll have foundation support. They may not. Yes, they do. Okay, so we're going to ramp this up here, and then I would like to put ramps down there if, like I said, this is all if we have the structure limit. All they really have to do is break these ceilings, but that is going to be a weak point I'm going to have to deal with, because I don't think I'm going to have the amount of structure limit I need to kind of fix that. But like I said, if this does blow up, the person inside can just open that door and they still get C4 on the boat. We just have to be a little more precise with our boat driving. So what we're going to try to do here is ramp it up. Well, maybe not, because then they can swim right up into the boat. So we may not actually do that, because you can just swim right into the boat if I do that, which would make it extremely. I want to make this thing to where you can't swim up into the boat. The only way I want it to be mounted is either grapple or through the boat itself. That's why I'm doing the whole double thing, because while you can do this, it's gonna be really hard when the boat's moving. While you can do that, you can't actually jump up from there. You kind of get stuck. So that's kind of what's going on there. So I don't think I'm going to put the ramps on the front. I may put some down from the top. Actually, I think I'm going to put some down from the top. Let's see if we can reach that from the water. Yes, we can. We'll put some down to the top for a little. That'll cover the guy inside, give us a little more protection yet. There we go. And I think that's going to do pretty well for that. So now we're going to go around. We're going to look. We're going to scrutinize it, look for any weaknesses. All right, guys. So I think that's about as protected as we're going to get on the outside of the boat. We're going to go up inside as soon as I get my grapple on, and we're going to see about putting another door checkpoint in, or see if we get structure limit. Whoop. As you can see, if it's hard for me to get in while not getting shot, it's going to be hard for them. So what we're going to try to do here is put another door checkpoint. Bam. So the C4 guy can ride here. You ride up to the base wall. Boop, 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 boop. C4 down. Close the door. Back away. Boom. Blow it up. And I think it'll be pretty successful. I like the ramps that I put there, because you can actually get pretty. Once you're close to the boat, the guy up front could open it and kind of guide the guy driving, and it would help him not get shot from turrets. So he could stand back here and be like, "Okay, stop," and then go up and C4 the wall. And so I think it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a successful boat. It's as defended as I can get it, because I'm pretty sure we're near or at structure limit. All right, the only change I might make on this is I might make the front wider. We could go maybe 5 wide, but I think 3 wide. I think 3 wide was actually going to be plenty. So we might just leave it where it's at and call this boat done. It's a pretty hefty looking boat. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's get in there and let's see what it looks like while we're driving it. See if we have a good line of sight. I tried to keep it built somewhat low because if you build a boat too high, you can't see anything. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So let me get you a little more better explanation of how the front works. So there's a guy up in that front. Remember, that front is hollow with the door. And say this wall over here is a base, which is not a very flat wall. But we're going to drive up to here until we see the ramps clip in. Oh, we got a little bit of that thing that never happens on the server. And then we say, okay, guy. All right, so we're in. At this point, the guy up front would have his door open. He'd be C4ing. He gets out, he closes the door, he says, okay, I'm done. And we back away, and right about there, he booms it and blows a hole in the wall. And then all we simply do is we move over a little bit to the next part of the base, about here, and we say, okay, go, go, go. And he opens the door, plays C4, he says he's done, we back away, he booms it, and we just work our way down the wall as much as we can. And we don't actually go into the base unless we load up. We could load up with a lot of people if these are successful, because I'm going to build several of these. And then we're going to hopefully blow a big hole in the side of their pirate ship, and then we can maybe load one of these up with a lot of people, drive it in, and say go, 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 and like funnel everybody out into the middle of their base, and try to take out any maybe interior turrets or anything like that they might have. So I think this is going to be a successful build. We're going to call this build done. All right, guys, there you have it, our first build. We're going to call this one the C4 Trojan Horse, since it is actually filled with people. All right, guys, so the next raft we're going to build is going to be a simple single-man suicide C4 raft. And it's going to be built much the same way, except it doesn't have the big thing for the second man to stand it. This is going to be, basically, you're going to be placing a bunch of C4 right here, driving it into the structure, and then booming it, and hopefully blowing stuff up in the structure. So we actually need as little reinforcement on this as possible, because while if we want it to be able to survive a rocket, it also needs to break its own structures to do damage to the structures around it. So we want to have as little reinforcement around the C4 as possible, while also keeping it safe, because they will likely try to shoot it with a rocket when it comes in. But as I said, these are going to be more for C4 turret towers, so we're going to do our best as we can with these and hope they survive, basically. All right, guys, we are back. We've got a stack of gasoline to throw in the boat here, so we can actually mount it and get on and show you guys what we're working with. All right, so this is what we got for this one. It's a pretty simple boat. Let's go into K modes and zoom out so you can see it. It's a pretty simple boat, very basic. We got the hole in the top there, so we only got one ceiling and one wall between the boom and the C4s. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. This is more of a turret tower build, not so much going up to base, although it could be used for a base if you're in a smaller tribe or you don't have a second man to C4. You just load the C4 up right under that middle one. Here, let's dismount and show you. The C4 goes right there with the boom booms. We can throw a few doors in here if we want extra protection for the driver, but it's not necessarily needed. While it will actually probably protect you from the boom, so you can maybe get a second one off with more C4. So if you go with some extra C4, blow that up, and the doors will probably protect you, so you can maybe go out there and throw some more C4 if needed, if you're like inside the tower. So it's actually probably good to go and put those doors there, but we're going to call this one done. We're not going to go crazy ham on this one because we're going to be blowing itself up, whereas that one we're going to try not to destroy it. So we're going to build a bunch more of these guys. We got all of our structures. We're going to have to make a run back up to base to get more metal structures. But we're going to get a bunch of these made up. All the motorboats I had, which I said I think was 10. I might try to go farm and get some more motorboats going to get more of these going. We got plenty of structures set aside for the finale of Purge to build or replace anything we need to replace. So we're using those to build these boats. And whatever survives, survives. If not, we'll farm up some more before the final Purge. But I might farm some more stuff to go make some more motorboats. But I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. And I hope you guys can get good use out of our 2 battle rafts here. And if you did like the video, guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for future content. And we'll catch you in the next video. Later.